Dan, oh, what's going on, my friend? Life is good. Harry Gensler, what? Is he going to recuse himself from any future SEC enforcement actions? We'll have to see about that. That's interesting. BTC matches have lost it. It's Brooklyn in the bridge, baby. The BTC maxis have lost it. They got called out by one of their very own. Hey, are you an XRP claiming that as well? What's going on, big solidarity? Raymond Hessler is in the building. How are you, my friend? Good morning to you. Let's go. Hey, you and I, we're early adopters of this new asset. I love it. Hey, what is going on? What is going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. Happy Tuesday. The digital asset space is something. What's going on? What happened here? Let me try that again. Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that it's a digital asset space. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. What an exciting time to be an early adopter in this new asset class that is a digital asset space. Listen, we're going to get into it. We got a lot to cover. The market is doing what the market does. I ask you, are you an XRP maxi in disguise, claiming to be a utility maxi? The BTC maxis are losing it, and they're being called out by one of their very own. Yeah, being called out, you know, with this latest news or latest comment from SEC Chair Gary Gensler. BTC maxis are starting to call each other out like, hey, what is what? You're relying on the government for your blessings and or approval? Yeah, they're getting called out big time. Getting called out big time. Interesting. We're going to get into that as well. Some interesting stuff coming from Stuart Alderati. SEC chair going to recuse himself or may have to recuse himself from any future crypto enforcement actions. That is heavy. If that's actual, that's heavy. Shout out to Darren Moore, shared a really great video. I think he shared it last night about the move from BlackRock. And we talked on this channel, as BlackRock goes, so does the United States capital markets. We covered that. He did a really good video. We're going to share that video with you guys as well. I'm a proud member of that Patreon. I got a chance to check this out early, but I want to share it with the public here, I think yesterday. We definitely want to check that out for sure. Darren Moore is that dude. He is that dude for sure. Keyless is in the building. How are you, miss? I actually got a personal message from someone that said you were saying good things about the Crypto Siege. I appreciate that, and definitely appreciate you for sure being here, part of the Crypto Siege family. D is in the building. What's good, bro? Flare Networks is going to be bigger than I thought. Wow. Yeah. Flare is going to be massive. I don't know. I get caught in this little thing of, should I just buy more Flare? I have been buying, or just wait for my Flare tokens to come. I'm like, I really don't need to get some. I really think I really should get some. It's like it's back and forth. I don't even know what the first 15%. What's that gonna look like? I mean, I done the math. I know what the total will be. So it's interesting. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, Flare is massive, bro. Flare is the truth. It has a chance to be a game-changing layer one, and we're here on this thing early on a game-changing layer one, and people are talking about taxes. People are talking about taxes. What? A groundbreaking layer one. You're early, and the XRP community gifted with tokens. And then they decided to say, you know, we could just be a really good layer one. Those dudes said, nah, we're gonna be a game-changing layer one, and flip the script, totally changed up everything. And we're early. We're early. This is, I don't know, but it feels like this is like being early to Bitcoin. What say you? That's what it feels like to me. And trust me when I tell you, the people that were early at Bitcoin said, yeah, $5. I mean, you know, the total market cap, and yeah, I mean, you know, who's going to buy Bitcoin at $5? And you know, I mean, really, you don't think those conversations were going on in 2010? I mean, come on, you know, you don't think taxes was a conversation back in 2010? Like people, like the level of being afraid of the possibility is crazy. People are scared of the possibility. That's why we did the Crypto Seizures channel. We put the Crypto Seizures channel together for people to say yes to you. We use it in our business all the time. Say yes to you. You got to believe in the possibility. The definition of vision is seeing it before the masses see it. Why do you think we were so early on DeFi? BlackRock and the giants and asset managers, the people who just, you know, billions is not good enough. You know, they have to deal with trillions. Those people are all over DeFi. And it may not be Spooky Swap or Pancake Swap, but it is without question Maker DAO and Aave and Compound all over it for its possibilities. So we were early. We're early to that. We gotta think. We have to figure out this. We gotta think bigger. We got to think about the possibilities with risk management at our side, of course. We got to get risk management. We got to lock that down. We got to know what that's all about. We got to learn from past mistakes, right? Without question. We got to know the diversification is not just merely having 10 different cryptos. We gotta diversify into different classes, like gold and silver, perhaps a teeny bit in stupid stock market equities, perhaps. We got to know what a dividend paying cash value policy looks like and how you can create generational wealth around it. You got to know what that looks like. Ask Jerry Jones what it looks like. That's how he built his wealth. That's how he built the bank to able to create businesses, cash value, dividend paying. We got to know about that stuff. We got to level up. We have to level up. But first thing we got to think about is we just got to, we got to raise the level of the possibility for you. Some people call it, getting the bigger dream. But you got to raise the level of the possibility for you. Don't let the masses tell you what you can't do. Don't let the masses tell you that you can't one day create generational wealth. You got to get beyond that. You got to walk away from those who might suggest something like that. that kind of madness. You can't hang around people like that don't believe that you can create generational wealth. You got to get around those who believe that you can and can show you a way to get there. Crypto is just one way. Like, it's just one way. And you stack on, you stack on other stuff on top of crypto to create the generational wealth. But don't hang around those who talking about you can't create generational wealth. That's a lie. That is a lie. But anyway, let's get back to the crypto thing. I went on a rant. Keyless. What the world? What's going on, Benjamin Salisbury? What is this? Uphold is offering 11% staking on Flare. Is that right? Pookie is in the building. Pookie's in the building. My mouse, for some reason, it just does not want to cooperate. What is going on with this mouse today? I just don't want to cooperate. I don't understand it. Keep messing up. Let me charge this thing up real quick. What's going on? We'll see if that'll help. Yeah, so we're going to get into that as well. We're going to get into this market. Again, we all know the market is doing what the market does. That's what it is. It's just doing what it does. It's just doing what it does. We're going to get into it. We got a lot to cover, for sure. I can't wait to, I think I'm going to leave this here. I think that would work. That'll work. Yeah, let's leave it here. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it in the middle. Let's go over these numbers. Rod Obregas, what's good, my friend? Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And if you're hanging out watching, please consider subscribing to the channel and ringing that notification bell. We got to get to 10,000 subs. We got to break this shadow ban on this channel. We speak the truth here about the powers that be, and YouTube wants to put the shadow ban on. So we got to break that. So please consider subscribing to the channel. So much to cover. Let me go over this market because I really want to get to Stuart Alvaradi's tweet. That tweet is something. If you haven't seen it, the tweet from Stuart Alvaradi, General Counsel at Ripple, dropped a bombshell, I believe. What if it's true? And maybe, is this perhaps Gary Gensler's way of accepting defeat? It may very well be. He might have got some counsel that says, hey, you need to get yourself in a position where you can just kind of recuse yourself from any future enforcement actions because your political what's the word? Credit score ain't great. It ain't great. It ain't good, baby. What's going on, Legendary? Good to see you, bro. Let's go over this market because the market is doing what it does. We're going to go over these numbers. I'm going to refresh again just to make sure we're up to date. Shout out to CoinGecko. Love CoinGecko. So there it is. The total cryptocurrency market cap is 1.12 trillion. It's down 1.2%, oddly enough. Yeah, it's down a little bit. Interesting. The Bitcoin dominance is at 40.3%. And guess what, guys? That's not a great number if you're looking for an alt season. It's just not. You can't have the Bitcoin dominance at 40%. I'm talking about an alt season, not swing trading 20, 30, 40%. No, an alt season where we're at the 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 10x, 20x, 30x, 40x, alt season. You can't have it with Bitcoin dominance at 40%. It ain't going to happen. Bitcoin is trading at $23,410. Ethereum is trading at $1,633. And XRP is trading at 37 cents. That's the market. Nothing to report. A lot of reds on the 7-day. Lots of reds on the 7-day. Just not great. Let's see. What's the first thing I want to cover with you guys? And I think this speaks the truth. More and more people are finally realize this. Library put this out. We all know Library kind of lost their thing and unfortunately lost their case in the SEC enforcement action brought by Gary Gensler and had to close shop, shut down business. Unfortunate. But they put something out here that I think is huge to understand. And it's absolutely true. We've been saying it, screaming from the rooftops from the beginning. By far, the best chance for crypto in the United States is the company Ripple. There are other crypto players in the US that could be playing on offense, but are not. This means it's basically all on XRP to save us all. This is from the library camp, LPC token. Then he goes on to tweet, no pressure or anything. No pressure, Ripple. But we've been saying it. People should have been, when they brought that lawsuit against Ripple, sued Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson and Ripple and saying XRP is a security. We said that people, the likes of Coinbase, should have been, and Cardano should have been getting in line, knocking on the door at Ripple, asking, how can we support them? And they chose not to. And the SEC and the powers that be, the banking regulators that sent the SEC, won because it began the divide of the digital asset space. Began the divide of the asset space. That's without question what happened. Joseph Lubin, so Mr. Huber, shout out to Mr. Huber, at Learzeet on Twitter. Definitely want to follow that dude. Joseph Lubin, the only person in the US who is allowed to hold any multi-million-dollar ICOs that are blessed by the SEC and which he can even brag about in the media. It says here's consensus wobbly wheel. Below are a dozen of the 40 or so spokes that make up the weird conglomeration of consensus projects. Only a handful have gained any real traction or profitability, but Lubin is still building. You see Infura here, Kaleido, plug-and-play software, MetaMask, Grid, Bounty's Network, Fathom, Viant, AirSwap, Balance, Balonk 3. Gnosis is a market for betting on event outcomes. 12.5 million ICO in April of 2017. The peak market cap of 500 million at one time. 500 million. Of course, we all know the ginormous that is MetaMask. It's very, very true. Only one in the US can hold his ICOs and absolutely nada enforcement action. None. And it is not about the trying to take Ethereum down. It is about providing the facts that there is not a level playing field. That's the key. That they sought out and they created a monopoly and have monopolized the market. Not the devs. Not the, you're not mom and pop buying Ethereum and assets around Ethereum's ecosystem. No, not those people. It's Joseph Lubin, JP Morgan, Jay Clayton, William Hinman, and Gary Gensler. It's regulators who allowed it to happen, and not only allowed it, encouraged it. Encouraged it. Because the nationalist platforms like Sullivan and Cromwell orchestrated it all and gave the blessing to make it happen. That's true, Ruth. Representative Bill Huizenga put this out, interesting tweet. As Financial Committee Oversight Chair, I will lead our committee's response to this administration's continued assault on capitalism. We know that there's politics here. We cannot let bureaucrats at the CFPB or SEC dictate policies that prevent you from choosing financial products that are best for your family. We get the political stuff. We get it. We see what you're going to really do, though, because, words are cheap. Words are cheap. What's that saying about, I can't hear what you say, based become an action, but your actions are so loud, I forget that phrase. forget what that phrase is. I can't hear what you say because what you do speaks so. There it is. What you do speaks so loudly. What you do, Representative Heisinger, speaks so loudly that what you say, I cannot hear. So we'll see what's good. Look at Wendy O. Wendy O. Interesting. Generally, big time on the ETH, generally big time on Bitcoin. This is what she had to tweet out. The SEC attack against Ripple, the company, wasn't to protect retail. It was to harm retail and trick you into thinking you need protection. Again, I'm going to share you Jake Travinsky's tweet here in a moment. When you get these, these major players in the Bitcoin e-space talking about Ripple and how Ripple is the Ripple, the company is fighting the fight for all of us, they're finally beginning to realize and wake up a little bit. It says, she goes on to tweet, they basically fudded your XRP bags and harmed holders financially for their benefit. Interesting that would come from her. Interesting that she would tweet that out. Really, really interesting that she would tweet that out. Sorry to all my podcast fans. I'm reading some stuff here, but it's something that we talked about from the beginning. It's great to see that people are beginning to wake up to the reality of the situation, to the reality, right? The digital asset space is finally waking up to the reality of what's going on. Look, now they're scared, but at least they're aware now. It took some time. We were on it from the beginning. We knew the big deal. The likes of John Deaton was saying this from the get-go, from the get-up. And people are finally starting to wake up to that. I want to share a couple other things before I get to Stuart Aliradi's tweet, because it's massive. Oh God, this computer. This is from API Portal at Flares. Our APIs are at Flare Network. I said at Flares, at Flare Network. Our APIs are already being used by leading exchanges, wallets, and decentralized apps. Also, as a hedge/insurance against their own infrastructure. In other words, their technology at Flare Networks is groundbreaking. And these places are recognizing the importance of the right infrastructure. Over the next few weeks, we will announce some of the partnerships we've made. I'm telling you, an opportunity to be early in a groundbreaking layer one that promotes interoperability. Can you see it? The definition of vision is seeing it before the masses see it. Can you see it? Ron Hammond put something out. I'm not going to read this full thread. I'm just going to read a couple of these tweets here, but it's important. Ron Hammond, formerly of Ripple, now at I think he's at the Blockchain Association, big time into Congress and find out what's going on there, always giving us feedback of what's going on in DC. He says, this week in Congress and crypto, the crypto carpet bombing continues. There are a number of regulators involved in this crackdown, but none more prominent than the SEC. Remember this. This is an actual thing going on. You got to get that. These people are not looking out for you and I. They're trying to protect the incumbent. The world is run by the bank and banking regulators. We got to accept that reality, and the reality that they don't want you choosing your own money, which means you're going to walk away from their banks, choose your own money, and choose your own monetary policy. They don't want that. They want you to stay in their liquidity pool, say, thank you, may I have another, after they hit you up with a no activity fee in your bank account. That's what they want. So they can hang out in the private jets and the private islands. That's what they want. So there are a number of regulators involved in this crackdown, but none more prominent than the SEC. Gary Gensler's aggressive approach has caused several Democrats to vocally express concerns. Ron Hammond tweets, let's dive in. That is massive. That is a massive thing. And I believe that statement in that we're going to cover from Stuart Alirati that Gary Gensler made, and now is in a position he will have to recuse himself, was strategic after counsel on his political aspirations. Look, yo, if you want that Secretary of Treasury job, you got to cut it out. You got to be able to, you know, when it comes time to get your appointee thing, you got to be able to say that, you know, you eventually recuse yourself from future enforcement acts because it's going to be held against you. That was the counsel, promise you. Relentless, he says. That is how best to describe the current regulatory crackdown. It seems like almost every day there is some sort of enforcement action, policy statement, proposed rulemaking, or notable speech. Many times these actions have vague language hinting at more to come. Everyone in the industry is reading the tea leaves of each action to see if and how it could affect their business. This exercise is exhausting and many times inconclusive in terms of finality. Many in the industry are now asking if they should just domicile elsewhere. This is what regulation by enforcement looks like. And sadly, this has been happening for quite some time. The intensity of the regulatory actions has also irked several folks in Congress, including many Democrats, which is an important thing to monitor. You better believe it is. You better believe it is. Here's Stuart Alirati's tweet. And Attorney Bill Morgan retweeted it and commented it as well. Stuart Alirati says, crypto lawyer public service announcement. This is from Stuart Alirati, who's just genius in motion. He ain't gonna waste his time just tweeting something out just because. Chair Gensler has again proclaimed that every cryptocurrency except Bitcoin is an unregistered security. He now must recuse himself from voting on any enforcement case that raises that issue, since he has prejudged the outcome. I believe it's strategic. And he cites a case here on Tonu versus the SEC, District Circuit Court in 1989. And this is important here. Attorney Bill chimes in and says, this is actually correct. Brilliant point. He has prejudged every crypto on this issue before investigations have been conducted or even commenced about most coins. What sort of reckless legal advice would conclude all cryptos are securities without considering the facts of each? So Gensler cannot be saying all cryptos except Bitcoin are securities based on legal advice. In other words, what I'm reading this to be that the dude is not going to make a statement like that without having sat down with his folks And my guess is that he sat down with his folks about his political aspirations and the mess that he's in, that Ron Hammond just reported to us, the mess that he's in with people on the same side of the aisle as himself, the Democratic side. He's like, their counsel is like, his people were like, your own side is against you, and it's growing and it's building. You've got to pivot. You've got to take a different route if you want this position as Secretary of Treasury. That's what this feels like to me. It's a pivot, the strategic pivot move, because Gary Gensler is not dumb. We may not like what he's doing, but he's not stupid. So to me, this is a very, very strategic move. That's what it feels like to me. A very, very strategic move, because he's got to do something. And here's a question that I would ask you. Are you an XRP maxi disguising yourself as a utility maxi? Are you acting just like Bitcoin maxis, just with the different set of garb on? Because that won't move this space forward. You and I warring with one another is not going to move the space forward. They're trying to divide us, just like they did in the Celsius Network case. Law firm came together, the strategy, divide the people. This is exactly what they did. The custody people against the earned people against the loan people against what do they call it? Those I forget the other group with the W. Withhold people. They divided the community. Strategic strategy, and they won it. Communities warring, everyone's a Celsius platform holder has been harmed, yet each and one of those entities warring with one another. Divided the community big time. Big time. And got the court to go along with it. Yeah. Sad. Jake Travinsky of the Blockchain Association, what is he, VP, or what is he at the Blockchain Association? Says lawyer, but not yours, so he's an attorney. Chief Policy Officer at the Blockchain Association. Chief Policy Officer. All right, got it. This is what he said. I'm old enough to remember when most Bitcoiners believed in economic freedom and open market competition. XRP content creators would have you to believe that it was always about, from the inception, that it was about getting rid of the dollar and taking down the government, which is not true. I'm old enough to remember when most Bitcoiners believed in economic freedom and open market competition. I can't believe the number of self-professed Bitcoiners now saying some version of, and I quote here, I'm fine with the government picking winners and losers, as long as the winner is my bag. That's what a lot of XRP content creators are doing. Claiming to be utility maxes, but in the end, look, my bag's good. That's what Coinbase did. That's exactly what Coinbase did. That's what Cardano did. Hey, they're not coming after us in our bag. We're good. That's exactly what happened. Let me read that again. I'm old enough to remember when most Bitcoiners believed in economic freedom and open market competition. I can't believe the number of self-professed Bitcoiners now saying some version of, I'm fine with the government picking winners and losers as long as the winner is my bag. That's the strategy that the banks and banking regulators put, just like Sullivan and Cromwell has done, just like Kirkland and Ellis and the Celsius Network case have done. Divide and conquer. It's coming from one of their own. Coming from one of their own. The Maxi thing. It's not great for the digital asset space. It's just not great for the space. So we got to be careful. We have to come together in order to win. There's a war going on. There is a war going on. The war is for you and I. Can you imagine a world in which we choose our own monetary policy? We choose our own form of money. We choose, in the crypto siege zone, we're done with the dirty, nasty fiat dollar. Don't touch it, don't like it, not interested in it. And there's other forms of money out there. There's other forms of money. We're not touching it. We use crypto cards for payments of bills and let those people on third parties and the vendors, let them use that dirty, nasty fiat. Let them transfer it into the thing that they want. We have that choice, right? Any money in an account stays for about 48 hours and is out. We have that choice now. And they don't like that. They don't like it. More on that note from John Deaton, his whole Maximus thing. Share that with you guys. Excellent discussion, excellent thread discussing some of the inherent flaws of maximalism. Many maxis will resort to name calling, but maybe someone like Saylor could address these comments without attacking the author. Good luck with that. A substantive civil discussion and debate is always a good thing. This thread comes from Kano. February the 23rd, this is what he said. This is a BT Maxi, formerly a BT Maxi. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist anymore. The space is full of ideology and lies. They made a religion around a piece of software. That's the reality of the situation. I'm not going to go through the thread. John Deaton says it's an excellent thread. I trust it. But we have to ask ourselves, are we XRP maxis disguising ourselves as utility maxis? Talking about utility and real world use case. Utility will rule the day, but we'll turn around and just crap on any other blockchain. Oh, Ethereum's gas fees are exhausting. Are you reporting reality or are you really just poo-pooing it? Because in the end, I say this, it's technology, baby. It's technology. And if it's technology, it can be improved upon. Just because right now our blockchain is the one doesn't mean that we don't want others to win in this space. We need more choices. Just because the XRP ledger can move anything of value in 3 to 5 seconds for less than a penny doesn't mean there isn't value in other blockchains. We need more choices. XRP ledger is not number one in DeFi. It hasn't even begun, really. Well, I mean, what will we do? Where would the space be without Aave? Where would the space be without Compound and Yearn Finance and MakerDAO, Curve and Convex? Where would the space be without those? Right? Each of us need all of us, my dude. And all of us need each of us. Right? You get it? It's kind of where it is. Let me get to the chat here, see what's going on. Alex G's in the building. What's going on, my friend? Colin Hughes. How are you, Colin? Let's see what else we got going on in the chat here. Rodwell, Gary Gensler's ideology is of his own rock is 100%. BC in the Matrix is in the building. Good morning to you, bro. Legendary, you're on it, bro. Anything BlackRock is associated with is somehow not been touched. Follow the money. That's right. That's why I share with you undue finance and centrifuge. You got look. BlackRock has the United States government on speed dial. Probably has like their own red phone. Like, you got to follow the money. Can't sleep on BlackRock. Oh, that reminds me, I'm supposed to share a video from BlackRock from Darren Moore. I'm going to share that with you. No. Oh, what's going on, Noah? How are you, bro? DJ Jarvis, what the world? It has been a minute, brother. How are you? Good morning, Noah. Alex G checked in. Pookie says, I hope Flare Networks becomes becomes as big as ETH. Me too. DJ Jarvis asks, is the Secretary of Treasury position and his party more important to Gary than what central monopolists want him to do? Yeah, it is. In my opinion, yeah. We all want Songbird back at all-time highs. Yeah. We do indeed, says Alex G. Joel Katz and Satoshi, says Alex G. Right? So that's the real deal there. That's the bigger picture, guys. Let me share with BlackRock, who just controls the direction of the United States capital markets. Let me share what they are saying about the digital asset space. You're going to love this. Shout out to Darren Moore. Guys, follow him on YouTube, Darren Moore Jr. Make sure you follow him on Twitter, Darren Moore Jr. Dude is a genius. He's brilliant, smart guy. And he's very, very smart. He doesn't get involved in the drama in the XRP community, which is just very smart. What I might want to do here, I'll share. Take a listen from the COO of BlackRock.
This is Robert Goldstein. He's the Chief Operating Officer at BlackRock.
Thing is, one of the things that we were carefully observing is where we are with regard to regulation. Mm-hmm. And when Ukraine-Russia happened, which obviously is a terrible tragedy, an incredible event for the world, but importantly, it also has a lot to do with digital assets in terms of it was an unprecedented sanctions regime. Mm-hmm. And clearly the concept of understanding how to manage money, the SWIFT payment network, all of those items wound up being front of mind across the whole discussion.
The prime opportunity to ban digital assets has already happened.
So the CEO there, Robert, made a great point. He said because of the current situation going on with this madness over there between Russia and the Ukraine, right, which is 1,000% political and 1,000% the truth about that is just being hidden. The real truth is just being hidden. But he was saying that was the opportunity. It was the opportunity for the G7 nations to put a flat out ban on the digital asset space and crypto, right? Remember, because people were sending money to the Ukraine, they were using digital assets to get the money there. That would have been the ideal opportunity for the powers that be, the G7 nations, to ban crypto, and they did not. And they did not do it. And the people at BlackRock were like, yeah, you guys didn't do it, didn't ban it. We need to regulate it, and we need to leverage what's going on here, right? So there's a reason for that. There is a 1,000% reason for why they didn't ban it, because they know. Again, we said this on this channel all the time. Once they realized that they could not, once the powers that be, the G7 nations, recognized and realized that they couldn't strong arm the technology, they had to embrace it. They tried the strong arm, but once they realized that they could not, they decided to embrace the technology. And that's what's going on there. He goes on to later in this video talk about the tokenization of everything, right? I shared the Larry Fink video with you guys and how Larry Fink dictated where the market was going. And that was the tokenization of real world assets, which are called RWAs, right? That's why I share with you guys Centrifuge and the CFG token. That's why I share with you guys Undo Finance and TrueFi, right? And I share with you just recently Smart Assets Token, SMT, right? Swarm Market Token, SMT, right? Just came out in Germany, because this is where the space is going, right? As we talk about it all the time. Find out where everyone else is going. Find out where the industry is going. Find out where the niche is going. Find out where a marketplace is going. And if you want to win in business, find out where they're going and get there first. And when you show up with the answer, solution to a challenge that problem, an answer to the problem that niche industry or marketplace might have. That's what BlackRock is doing. The CEO in that video there talked about the inefficiencies in the traditional market space and traditional finance. He talked about the inefficiencies and how blockchain technology and its ability to interoperate can change that. And that to me speaks to just, he also mentioned that, hey, Circle and what we're doing at Circle is great domestically. You know, the thing, because they partnered up with Coinbase, they partnered up with Circle, and those things are great domestically, especially Circle, right? USDC, that's a stable coins domestically. But, you know, those who we do business with, who are not necessarily our friends, they don't want USDC. And when we do business with them, we don't want the digital yuan. So you got to have this bridge currency, but that bridge currency has to come with interoperability so that the blockchains can speak amongst each other. The XRP ledger does all that. It's not just cross-border payments. It does everything. It moves anything of value in 3 to 5 seconds for less than a penny. Gary Gensler is on YouTube talking about something being stable for seconds. Something being stable for seconds that acts as a bridge currency. Let me find that for you. Let me say that again. Something that is stable for a matter of seconds that can bridge, that can act as a bridge currency. What? What else could he be talking about? Let me share this with you. This is, again, this video might not play. It's only 24 seconds, but and then I'm going to wrap up. Cowboy Crypto reminded us of this video. We've seen this video before, right? But it's just important to understand what's going on, the bigger picture. Friction will be you'll have to sell dollars. This is the friction. You have to sell dollars to buy XRP. You got to sell that dirty, nasty fiat to buy XRP. Then sell that XRP to buy pesos, the Mexican dollar. or you can choose to interpose any bridge currency. Find out where an industry, marketplace, or niche is going and get there first. Well, that has always been Ripple's genius in motion, in my humble opinion, and it's called the blue ocean strategy. Because no one was talking about solving the cross-border payments issue. No one was talking about no-show and clearing up the trillions of dollars, 10 to 18 trillion dollars in locked up capital. No one was talking about it. No one was doing it. Ripple, the company, made a decision. They came to a fork in the road, cross-border payments or smart contracts. And they went to the left. Cross-border payments. Why? Because there was a blue ocean there. They recognized there was going to be a bunch of people in the smart contract space. Blue ocean, you're just hanging out yourself. In the red side, smart contracts, there's a bunch of people in there fighting amongst each other for market share. It's a blue ocean strategy. Genius in motion by Ripple. Genius in motion. Or you can interpose any bridge currency. One of the most significant opportunities for stable value tokens, as he likes to call it. That's one of the reasons I believe that the World Bank called XRP and XLM stable coins. Why else would the World Bank, who knows that the IMF is going to check that out, who knows that the central bank of all central banks, the BIS, is going to check that out, who knows that all the central banks of the G7, G20 nations are going to check out their read on stablecoins, which said XRP and XLM are stablecoins? Why else would the World Bank put that out? One of the most significant, this is a quote from Gary Gensler at MIT when he's doing this little thing. One of the most significant opportunities for stable value tokens is maybe what we call it as a bridge currency for cross-border. And the World Bank is saying that XRP and XLM is a stablecoin? I mean, what say you? I'll try and play it. This thing probably won't play, but I'll try and play it. Thanks to my crappy internet, but I'll try it.
Oh, it is a bridge currency that in seconds it won't move as much. And the friction will be that you...
In seconds, it won't move as much. Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson on interviews have repeatedly said that there is less volatility in using XRP than it is in moving traditional finance dollars. Because you only need, it will be stable for 3 or 4 seconds. The minute you get into cross-border payments with dollars and fiat dollars, there's volatility in there. The moment. That's why they can't give you a quote on the price when you go to send money, because they don't know. The exchange rates are just screaming all over the place. And never mind the whole ineptitude or ineptness of, they don't know when it's going to get there. It's going to be somewhere between 3% or 7% it's going to cost you. Never mind that madness. And never mind the madness that all these banks got to pre-fund in order to make this cross-border payment thing work. They got to pre-fund in Germany if they're in the U.S. And if they're in Germany, they got to pre-fund in the U.S. You see what I'm saying? Let's try and play this. He said it stays stable for like a matter of seconds. Let me try to play this from the beginning again. Listen to this.
That in seconds it won't move as much. And
that in seconds it won't move as much. Gary Gensler, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson talk about that all the time. That XRP, that price of XRP is stable because you only have to deal with it for 3 or 4 seconds. Germany, 3 to 4 seconds. Europe, pick one. 3 to 4 seconds. They can't say that. They can't say that about their currencies in the FX exchange market. They can't say it in the FX markets.
And the friction will be that you have to sell dollars to buy XRP and then sell XRP to buy peso, or you can interpose any bridge currency. One of the most significant opportunities for stable value tokens that we'll talk about in a few classes is maybe as what we can call it as a bridge currency for cross-border. That in seconds.
They know, my friends, and they have always known. And if Gary Gensler is teaching about it at MIT, the powers that be know. And what JP Morgan and the likes realize is, whoa, this market is massive. This cross-border payments thing is massive. And we are way behind the company Ripple. Can you slow them down? I mean, it's right in front of you. You just gotta recognize that. It's right in front of you. They recognize the prowess and the monster, the behemoth that is Ripple, in the industry that it decided to attack. Now, don't get me wrong. If Ripple would have went right into the smart contract space with Codius, there would not be a lawsuit. Gary Gensler would probably still be teaching at MIT, probably. Do you see what I'm saying? They needed time to catch up because once they got the word about Ripple and it was going to get into their pockets and their market share of cross-border payments, once they realized that, first they were like, well, they can't. Yeah. Then once they realized the prowess, once they understood what was going on, that they were building this network of banks that they were going to steal these banks away from the top 7, 8 banks. Remember, the other 9,990 banks have to pay to play, baby. They have to pay to play. Once they realized this RippleNet thing was was gaining traction and the prowess of its technology, they said, hold on a second. We need someone to slow this thing down so that we can come up with a JPM coin. That is the facts, my friends. It is easy to see if you'll just, pay attention. And if you don't get it, just keep tuning in to the Crypto Sieges channel. It'll come to you. Thai City, Undercut Underground, they are going to strong arm the technology. Nah, bro, they can't. They can't strong arm the technology. They can't. It's open source, public permissionless. They can't strong arm it. They already tried, my dude. They already tried to strong arm it. What they are going to do is they're going to hook up with the blue chippers in this space, the blue chippers, the Aves, Compound, Yearn Finance, and Curves, Maker DAOs of the world. They're going to hook up with them and say, you know what? Our traditional stuff needs to be on a blockchain. And then once they do that, they got first movers advantage from the regulatory front. Once they tokenize their stuff, they got first movers advantage. They got all this SEC, the CFPB, and all the powers that be's approval already. They got it already. They have that stuff already. That's their move, to tokenize everything. That's why BlackRock and Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, says the next generational move is in the tokenization of traditional financial markets. BlackRock doesn't have the XRPL ledger. They don't have that. But they got $10 trillion in assets under management in the traditional finance space, and they're just going to put that stuff on blockchain to make their stuff more efficient. but they own it. They own that stuff. Cal T. Moore is in the building. How are you, bro? All facts. Thank you, my dude. They are playing catch up any way they can. That is right, without question. Mr. XRP All In is in the building. How are you? How are you doing, XRP fam? Good to see you, Mr. XRP All In. That is the reality of the situation. Gary Gensler and his team have come. They just woke up. Look, your political aspirations are on the line. The Dems are coming at you. Your own people are coming at you. What you gonna do? He's like, I don't know. What can I do? Well, you know, because that's what the lawyers do. They come up with ways. That's what the advisors do. They come up with ways. If you make this statement that every single thing is security, not I believe, but make a statement. Everything is a security except for Bitcoin. Why do you think an attorney, Stuart Alirali, pointed out the fact that this is what he'll have to do, recuse himself, because he made this blank statement. You don't think that all the other firms, law firms now know this? You don't think they're Congress is gonna find out and gonna have to ask him, if he will, if he doesn't decide to do it on his own, which he probably is going to, recuse himself. Now he is out of the regulation by enforcement space. He's out of that now. Right? That's his big knock. That's why his boys on his own family is coming at him. Because of his, one of the things is this regulation by enforcement in the digital asset space. Strategic, in my opinion. Strategic, in my opinion. All right, guys, look, I'm going to wrap it up. It's been a really, really, really cool hang for sure. Thank you so much for hanging out with the Crypto Siege. I will, without question, see you guys. Hold on one second. I'm just doing this for a podcast. I will hang out and see you guys in a second for sure. So listen, guys, listen. This is the move. This is where it's going. We number one thing was we got to see it bigger for ourselves than we're seeing it. We got to see it bigger for ourselves. Be excited about your early to flare networks. Don't burden yourself with insignificant things like taxes. You got an opportunity to be on the ground floor of a groundbreaking layer one. You're early to DeFi. You probably know, Keyless probably knows more about DeFi than Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, the world's largest asset management company. You see what I'm saying? We're early. We just got to level up. We got to level up our IQ on the greatest digital asset ever created, XRP. We got to level up our IQ on the entire digital asset space. You got to know about centrifuge. You got to know about swarm markets and securitize. You got to know. You can't not know. Is that good English? You can't not know. It costs you too much. My mentor used to say, ignorance is not bliss. It's not bliss, baby. Right? You got to level up. And then you got to level up your IQ in the traditional finance space. What is going on with FDIC insurance? Do you know the real about FDIC? What is a bank run? What's a bank in as opposed to, what's a bail-in as opposed to a bailout? Do you know? What do you know about dividend-paying high-value policies? Do you know that there's a pool of money? There's only one pool of money? Did you know that? There's only one place. It's just one big pool of money. Did you know that? And do you have access to that, without having to beg for someone else's approval? You got access to that? This massive pool of capital? Do you have access to that without having to beg for someone's permission or approval to get access? These are things that we must know. These are things that we got to know. What address are you asking for, Undercut? uncut underground. What I would love to join that. What address are you asking for? You know, so this is kind of where we are. We got to level up in those spaces without question, but we're blessed to be early adopters in this new asset class. Absolutely blessed. It's always such a cool hang to hang out with you guys and know that we're leveling up together. We're creating a foundation for generational wealth together. How cool is that? How cool is that? But it's not going to be done by just, you know, buying a thing and holding on to a thing. That ain't going to cut it. In my humble opinion, participation is crucial. For example, you can't just hold the Flare token. You can't just hold it. Yeah, Kyle Timor, absolutely. I have seen recently that more people are realizing the not so great benefits of central bank digital currencies. Yeah, people are waking up to that. It's not great. It's not great. We need choices. Look, the powers that be are going to do what the powers that be does, but we got to have choices. We got to have other options to a central bank digital currency. I'm not trying to hang out with a CBDC. What for? I want other choices. TYC, you can DM me on Twitter if you want, crypto_siege. If you'd like to do that, let me see that. Or you can DM me on Twitter at crypto_CEEJ if you're on Twitter. Or you could always, the email for this channel. Hit me up, bro, hit me up. So this is where we are, guys. Leveling up is massively important, but never forget that we are blessed to be early. And also don't limit yourself and expectations of what's possible for you. Screw coin market cap and total market cap. That's an illusion. It's an illusion. Market cap. It's an illusion. How in the world you can believe in $100,000 Bitcoin, but you can't believe in a 10,000 XRP? Explain to me how that doesn't make sense. How that makes sense to you. Because of market cap? The elixir to a blockchain that can move anything of value in 3 to 5 seconds for less than a penny. And you can't believe in this possibility because of coin market cap? How does that make sense to you, my dude? How does that make sense? All right, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much. It's been an awesome, cool hang for sure. Thank you so much for tuning in. Kyle Timor and Pookie, TY City and JR Crest, Mr. XRP all in. I appreciate you guys being here. Alex G, Keyless, the lady of crypto, checking in. D's, it's been a while, bro. Appreciate you checking in. Pookie, DJ Jarvis, checked in. BC, The Matrix, and Rodwell, Colin Hughes. We appreciate you guys checking in this morning. Benjamin Salisbury and Dano and Raymond Hessler. Thank you so much for checking in this morning, guys. Listen, I'm going to end this one like I do all of my videos. I love to share this with you guys. We got to remind ourselves of this all the time. So I'm going to end this live stream like I do all of my live streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win.
They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it.
I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya.